Well, hello. I'm back again, I guess. Two in a few days, I guess. So, why not? Well, today I'm just going to quickly kind of give you a quick overview, quick rundown of the Crew 3.0, as you may call it, or the new crew skills which are going to be coming in the 1.26 update. It's a complete rework of the crew system, much needed in my opinion, and they've basically taken the good bits from the controversial Crew 2.0 and made this kind of new Crew 3.0. So, there are a number of new perks and a number of reworked perks. So to start off with, I'm just going to quickly run over the reworked perks, won't take me long, and then I'll quickly just introduce you to the new perks, basically. So, Recon has been reworked. It's now going to increase your view range by 2%, and the new bit is reduce the penalty to damaged observation devices. Cool. Basically just ease of life, I guess. Not particularly anything special. Sound detection has received some would say a relatively significant buff. It's going to now decrease your stun effect by 10%. That's kind of nice. Bit of a reason to take it now. And Mentor has taken over the role of what was Jack of all trades. So Mentor has had the Jack of all trades role combined into it. That crew skill has been basically deleted. So cool, interesting. For the Gunner, Deadeye's been reworked. I believe they've just increased the percentage by 1, but Deadeye's been reworked. Nothing particularly big there. Designated Target has been reworked similarly to how Mentor was reworked, and it has had the ability which allowed you to identify damaged modules combined into it. That perk has been deleted, and Designated Target has kind of had that combined in. I don't know, ease of life. Less crew skills, always good. Simplifies things. Controlled Impact's been reworked. I don't really know what they've changed on this, to be honest with you. But I believe the new bit is the reduced damage to suspension. Cool, I guess. Nothing particularly big, just, yeah. Might make some ramming tanks slightly better, like the i7 E50M. I don't know. Yeah, I guess. Off-road driving has been buffed, and I believe it's had the role of... It's kind of just been buffed to increase the speed loss soft terrain. Not particularly a large rework, but yeah, it happened. Quite a few for the loader. Two of the big ones. Adrenaline Rush has been reworked. Don't quite know what's happened there, but it's been slightly changed. And Safe Storage has also been reworked. I believe they have just... I think they've increased the cap as to which the amount of hit points you have to lose for Adrenaline Rush to activate, and I believe they've increased the ammo rack durability through Safe Storage, so nothing particularly large there. And then for the radio operator, we've only had one change, which is firefighting has been added as a radio operator exclusive skill, so you no longer have to train a firefighting on all of your crew members. You just train it as a radio operator specific perk. Good. We like those kind of changes. Simplifies things. So the new perks, because I don't want to ramble for too long. Coordination is going to be the first new perk for commanders. It's going to increase your aiming speed by 12.5% for 15 seconds after you spot an enemy vehicle. So it's going to be particularly useful for medium tanks and TDs, I'd say, where you're going to be sniping. You spot a vehicle, you get 15 seconds of better aiming speed. Okay, interesting change. It's going to be interesting. Practicality, a new one. It's going to decrease your consumable cooldown time by 10%. So one of the other changes we get in 1.26 is a rework of the large medkit, small medkit, large repair kit, small repair kit, with the larger versions of the repair kit and the medkit having reduced cooldown time. This is going to reduce that further. The effect stacks. Cool, I guess. Interesting change. Going to basically mean that people will take large repair kit and med kits, especially in competitive gameplay, and then take this skill and you basically just get your tracks, ammo racks, commanders, whatever, crew members back very, very quickly in about 45 seconds off the top of my head, if the maths is right. Gunner, the new perk Concentration, is going to decrease your gun dispersion of a stationary vehicle by 3.5%. Okay, That's going to be interesting. Once again, kind of a medium tank TD kind of perk. Quick aiming, which is going to increase your rotation, your aiming speed and turret rotation speed by 2.5%. Yeah, that's going to be useful on certain tanks, which, for example, have really slow rotation and slow aim time. SG 130 PM, tier 8 premium Russian TD springs to mind. Armorer is a new one. It's going to basically decrease your RNG range. So instead of it being plus minus 25%, it's going to make it plus minus 20%. And also it's going to decrease your gun dispersion by 1.5%. So this means you will effectively, less of the time, if you're going to roll a min roll, your min roll will be higher, but also your max roll will be lower, if that makes sense. Interesting. Driver, we've got reliable placement. It's basically going to do the job of like a spore liner, but like a smaller version. So reducing HE damage and damage by falling. Okay, interesting. Kind of a bit of a null and void skill, but it'll be interesting on some tanks. Engineer, this one's an interesting one. It's going to increase your top forward and reverse speed, so you'll go slightly quicker. Useful on very slow tanks. And it's also going to reduce the penalty to a damaged engine by 20%. Okay, cool. Ease of life, quality of life, skill, and going to increase your speed. Okay, I like. Loader, perfect charge, increasing your shell velocity by 10%. This one's going to be interesting on tanks, for example, like the K91, which is receiving a big buff in this update, which has incredible APCR shell velocity. Tanks like the Bliskavitska, the tier 10 Polish TD, the new one. Yeah, this is going to increase its shell velocity by 10%. That's going to be pretty interesting, but it's more of like a quality of life perk for certain tanks. You know, you take it more on tanks which have really poor shell velocity than tanks that have incredible shell velocity. If that makes sense. You've got close combat, which is going to be an interesting perk, increasing skill for heavy tanks or people who play advanced competitive stuff, because you will be within 50 meters or less from an enemy vehicle if you're in a brawling situation. For example, this perk will be critical to take if you're going to be playing tanks in Onslaught, because it's going to basically decrease your gun loading time if you're within 50 meters of the enemy. Interesting. Going to encourage you to be up close and personal, but that's what you're going to be in, you know, gamers like Onslaught. So, in my opinion, going to be a must-take perk for tanks in Onslaught. And then ammo tuning, which is going to increase your minimum potential damage and minimum potential penetration by 2%. So that's basically just another RNG kind of mitigator. It's going to reduce your min roll. It's going to increase your min roll and increase your minimum potential penetration roll. So, interesting. 2% is not a lot, but on certain tanks like the FE405, that 2% is a lot more than on tanks like the 140E, if that makes sense. So, yeah. Radio operator, we've got quite a few new perks. The radio operator is a massive rework. Side by side is going to be, once again, another one for like Onslaught, very similar to the close combat. You have to be within 50 meters or less of an allied vehicle, and it'll give you a crew efficiency bonus. Okay, interesting. Once again, probably going to be pretty useful in Onslaught. You've got jamming, which is going to decrease the time your vehicle remains spotted. That's going to be huge for light tanks. So if you get spotted, you're going to be spotted for 1 second less. Obviously, can be countered with designated target, I guess. You've got signal interception, which is going to decrease the time to determine your vehicle has been spotted by the enemy by 0.75%. So it's basically going to mean you get your sixth sense displayed 0.75% quick, 0.75 seconds quicker, which once again is going to be pretty useful for light tanks, in my opinion. Means you might be able to dodge a little bit quicker. Yeah, kind of a bit of a ease of life, quality of life perk. If you take it, okay. If you don't take it, you're not really losing out on much at the same time. And then obviously we've got communications experts, the final new perk, which is going to increase your crew efficiency by 2.5% if the amount of damage you assist with exceeds your vehicle's initial hit points. So kind of gonna be a light tank perk majoritively. So if you do, because light tanks have lower HP, so if you do, 1500 assist damage, then you'll be getting this 2.5%. So it's definitely not going to be one you're going to be taking on heavy tanks like the Mouse, because you're having to do over 3k assistance. So kind of a very situational perk, but it's going to be definitely interesting for light tanks. There's quite a few perks here that do stack to make light tanks a little bit better than what they currently are, which I'm not against, because light tanks are pretty out of the meta at the minute. So yeah, just a quick video. I know I have rambled for 10 minutes now. Just covering all of the new crew skills and the reworked ones. So I hope you enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe. I'm going for, I don't know, 2k by the end of the year. I don't know, maybe. We'll see. And I'll see you all again soon. Bye.